So I'm coming to you later than usual today because, let's just be honest. My entire week has been totally out of whack. It actually started last Sunday with an afternoon nap, which meant that I didn't fall asleep until after midnight that night when I finally did go to bed for good, and which also is not good for waking up on Monday morning at a reasonable time. And as it goes, every single morning this week, I've slept in later and later until this morning when I woke up an hour and a half past my usual time. And that's a big deal for me because I immediately started beating myself up about it. And when you start beating yourself up and talking to yourself that way, it just totally sets a tone for the rest of the day. And boy, did it set a tone for the rest of the day. I constantly found myself stressed out by how quickly the day was going. And every time that I would look at the clock, it was always way later than I expected it to be, which of course stressed me out even more. And then it dawned on me that this change in my sleeping pattern was certainly exponentially impacted by that nap on Sunday afternoon, but that's not really where it actually began. That wasn't the true decision point or the fork in the road. It actually started a few weeks back when I brought my phone to my nightstand again. You all know, I've talked about this before, but for a while now, I've slept with my phone in the kitchen so that when the alarm goes off in the morning, I have to actually physically get out of bed and leave my bedroom to go to another room. And for me, that significantly increases the chances that I'm going to keep moving and not go back to bed. And I really can't remember why I started bringing my phone back into my room at night again, but there have been multiple times over the last few weeks where I've told myself, Brittany, you need to get back into the habit of leaving your phone in the kitchen. I'm sure you found yourself telling yourself things like that as well, like you need to do fill in the blank, but I just never did. I always talked myself out of it for some reason. Now, I will say that one night when I was already in bed, I did toss it to the door of my bedroom so that it was outside of my reach. But let's be real, the next morning, I turned it off and turned around and crawled back in bed. It didn't really change anything. So that's what I've got to do starting tonight to get back on the schedule where I am most productive and thriving. I have to fix my broken system. I had a really great system going for me, and then I decided to change something about it, consciously or subconsciously. I need to fix that one little part, and everything will fall back into place again in due time. So, my question for you is this: what is not working for you right now? Maybe it's oversleeping like me, or maybe it's your diet, or how you're spending your money, or your productivity. What's the system that you have in place right now that's supporting your current outcome? There's always a system. Even if it's not working, the system is still there. For me, the system became go to bed at the same time and bring my phone with me, listen to a podcast, maybe play a game, and eventually I would fall asleep maybe like an hour or so later. And of course, the next morning, the alarm would go off right next to me. I would turn off the alarm and roll over and go back to sleep. It's a system. A broken system, a system that doesn't work for what I want, but nevertheless, it is still a system. And once you have recognized your current system, I want you to identify the decision point. Where is your fork in the road? where you either go down the path of the same system that's not working, or you go down a different path that gets you to where you want to be. It's always a single, very simple decision. And for me, it's leaving my phone outside of my room. So I would love to hear your decision point. What's your fork in the road? Where's the breakdown in your system? I hope that's got you thinking, and you all have an amazing weekend. Mwah.